Hey guys, this is James Miller with the Miller Group here on Amelia Island, Florida, and today we're going to talk about listing strategies to help you sell your home for the most amount of money in the least amount of time when in a seller's market. So that's what our Miller Minute is going to be about today, and we are going to talk about it right after this. At the Miller Group, our goal for our sellers is to help them sell their properties for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. And you think that would be pretty simple in a seller's market, considering inventory is down and prices are increasing, right? But it's actually a little more complicated than you might think, and here's the reason why. So in a seller's market, the tendency is to list your property above market value, with the thought process being, well, prices are increasing, therefore I should be able to sell my property for more money, and I'm going to list it above market value. While the thought process of that you should be able to achieve more money for your property is correct, the strategy of listing your property above market value ignores the number one driver of increasing prices, which is buyer urgency. So creating a sense of urgency is the best way to maximize the final sale price of your home. And when you list your property above market value, you absolutely kill buyer urgency. And when buyers have no urgency, what do? They wait. They're not going to make an offer on your property. And as they're waiting on the sideline, your days on the market are increasing. And you're probably going to start considering price reductions. And those two things, price reductions and days on the market increasing, are red flags for buyers. They start wondering, well, what's wrong with your property? Why hasn't it sold? Why are you decreasing the price? And although there's nothing wrong with your property other than you simply listed it too high to begin with, buyers now have a negative perception of your property and you will end up selling below market value. So if you're listing your property in a seller's market, do not fall into the trap of listing your property above market value only to end up selling it below market value. After all, it's a seller's market and you should be achieving a higher sale price at the end of the day. And the best listing strategy to achieve that higher sale price is to list right at market value, because this creates the greatest sense of urgency among buyers. I know this sounds a little counterintuitive, so let me give you an example. We had a listing which had a market value of $300,000, and we listed the property at 2 o'clock on a Friday at $299,000. By Saturday morning, we had two cash offers, one for $306,000 and one for $312,000. So at the end of that transaction, the property ended up selling very quickly and for an amount above market value, which is exactly where you want to be if you're a seller in a seller's market. All right, well, this Miller Minute was a little longer than usual, but this is a very, very important topic. And just to summarize, remember, the best listing strategy in a seller's market is to list right at market value, because it will create the greatest sense of urgency, which will ultimately result in a higher sale price for your property. Once again, this is James Miller with the Miller Group here on Amelia Island. As always, please feel free to share this with anybody who you think would find it interesting. And we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.